All right, so in order to answer this question, I think it's going to be helpful if we have a list of Fibonacci numbers written out in front of us. So I'm going to write them down the bottom here. So I'm going to have 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144, 233, etc. So now that we have those written out along the bottom, I'm also going to write out what Fibonacci number it is in the list. So like 1 is F1, and the next one is F2, and the 2 is F3, the third number in the Fibonacci list, and 3 is F4, and 5 is F5, F6, F7, F8, okay, there we go. So now I have the Fibonacci numbers listed out with what number it is in the list. All right, so now let's look at my sequence of equations. It says to write down a reasonable choice for the fifth equation in the sequence. So it seems like every equation has the entire previous equation contained in it. So I'm going to write that down first. I have 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 13 plus 34. And then I have to add another number and decide what it equals. Well, 1, 2, 5, 13, 34, that's every other Fibonacci number. We have 1, 2, 5, 13, 34. So the next logical one to add would be 89. And then I could just add them all up and see what it equals. I could just take a calculator and do 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 13 plus 34 plus 89, and I get 144. Another way that I could have come up with 144 was to look at the sequence of answers in my equations. So I have the thing that each equation equals is 3, 8, 21, 55. Again, it looks like it's every other Fibonacci number starting with 3. So the most logical next one would be 144. So let's write down what Fibonacci numbers I've written here. So my 1 could be F1. And my 2 is F3. And my 5, that's F5. And 13 is F7. 34 is F9. 89 is F11. And 144, that's F12. So it appears that when I add up every other Fibonacci number, the first, the third, the fifth, the seventh, the ninth, the 11th, you get the next Fibonacci number right after the last one you wrote in your list. So if I add 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 plus blah, 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 blah up to 21, the next Fibonacci number in the list should be the one it equals, which is F22. So the missing subscript there, the question mark, should be a 22. And then in this last one, assuming n is odd, I'm going to add F1 plus F3 plus F5 up to some Fn. Whatever n is, the thing that my equation will equal is the one after it, right? So when it ended with F11, it equaled F12. When it ended with F21, it equaled F22. So if it ends with Fn, it should end up equaling Fn plus 1, the next Fibonacci number in the list.